welcome back to another episode of Ethereal Enigma. You're watching Javelin Studios, and I'm Javelin. And today we'll be going to the hot springs. And I'm just not gonna delay anymore. So, without further ado, I'll start right now. My phone alarm blares and wakes me up bright and early. Immediately, I roll out of bed. I can't be late for the hot springs trip today. Once I get my belongings, I make my way downstairs. Mina and Erilynn are already seated at the table. Aunt Emiko sets down breakfast when I walk in.
Good morning, sweetie.
Morning.
Do you kids have everything you need for your trip?
Erilynn nods while Mina grins.
Yep, I'm all set.
Me too.
Wonderful. I thought it would be nice to drive you to school today. That way, you don't have to walk and carry your luggage.
That would be great! Thanks, Mom!
Thank you. That is very kind.
Yeah, thanks. That. Yeah, oh, I don't even know how to speak anymore. Yeah, thanks, Aunt Emiko.
Of course.
We finish eating our breakfast and Aunt Emiko drops us off at school.
Have a great trip.
She gives us each a hug and then departs. We follow the crowd and file onto the buses. Kira already sits in one of the seats and Kosei sits across from her. After greeting everyone, Mina and Erilynn squeeze in beside Kira while I sit next to Kosei. Once everyone is accounted for, the bus rolls to life and we're on our way. Excited gossip and conversation breaks out across the bus, but I'm still exhausted from getting up early. I lean my head against the glass and quickly fall asleep. Someone shakes me awake.
Hey! Wake up!
I groan and squint through a bright ribbon of sunlight. With another blink, I see Kosei's grinning face. Finally! I sit up and rub my eyes, then I follow everyone off the bus. I'm greeted by a beautiful forest. And the bus background earlier, yeah, it was also reused from Ace Academy. Yeah, I'm not too sure why, but the wallpaper or the background kind of like crops out, or it's on what? I'm not sure how to phrase it. It's like it's on its standard size, but it maintains it feels the proportion of the length, I guess. So the width, they did not stretch it to fill the top parts in like when they're using previous backgrounds from their own previous games. I don't know. Gentry surround the area and flowers sway in the breeze. There's a row of wooden cabins and a building where I assume the reception area is. Two rangers greet Misato and the other teachers.
Class, these rangers will show you to your cabins. You'll have time to explore before the first activity, and afterwards you'll be free for the day. We'll meet here for class. Don't be late!
A male ranger leads the boys to the boys' cabin and a female one leads the girls. Kosei and I follow our ranger to the cabin. Bunks lean against the wooden walls, and large windows surround us to let in the sunshine and cool breeze. The cabin has a rustic and cozy atmosphere, and I can tell we'll be comfortable staying here. Other students fall in and claim their spots. Kosei and I gravitate to the beds in the corner. Since we have some time, what should I do? Well, in episode 3, things will start to get I don't know, decisive? I don't know. I'm not sure what's that term. So basically, the game will prioritize, just like the epilogue of episode 2, the game will prioritize who you're more closer to, and use that character as a default in certain scenes, such as well, this one right here. So, the first one, stay in the cabin and organize my stuff. It's basically you and Kosei actually trying to fight for a bed. And this is, well, this is self-explanatory. You'll go find Nina. So let's take a walk in the garden. The garden sounds like a good place to relax. As I make my way over, someone touches my arm. Oh, hey Kira.
Hey, were you walking towards the gardens?
So yeah, in this main playthrough, we are hanging out with Kira most of the time. But whenever she's available, we just choose her option. So she's the default in this scene. So vice versa, if you chose to hang out with Erilynn most of the time, the game will set Erilynn as the default, I guess, default for this choice. So it also based on, I think it's based on the very first free time event that you get when you choose between Kira or Erilynn. Regardless if the rest of the free time events you do are basically Mina and Kosei, you never hung out with any of them, the game will just, well, yeah, here, since you choose Kira or Erilynn in the very first option, yeah, this is the default. Yeah, I am. Are you? She nods. It looks like we had the same idea. Cool. Want to head there together?
Sure.
The two of us walk side by side, following the footpath. Colorful flowers bloom all around us, and the trees sway with a gentle breeze. It all feels very peaceful. And I'm not sure if this is a reused background from Ace Academy, or I don't know, or I'm not sure, but if it's a reuse, yeah, they done this in this one. They actually, the picture doesn't actually like crop itself, like that. We don't see any black space on the top nor the bottom, I guess. Okay. Something zips close to my ear with a low humming sound. I turn to see a hummingbird. It hovers near Kira's face before zooming away. Wow, it got pretty close.
Let's keep walking down the path. I hear there's some beautiful cherry blossoms down this way.
Okay. As we mosey, that word, mosey along, Kira glances appreciatively at the surrounding plant life. There's another sound of something fluttering behind me, following by soft twittering. Okay. What the heck? I turn again. Brightly colored birds are scattered on a low branch near Kira. They stop chirping as soon as they notice me. Maybe we spooked them?
What is it?
Oh, it's nothing. I just never noticed there were so many birds here. Kira shrugs. We continue on our nature walk. It's mostly quiet. I can hear the birds tweeting and flapping behind us. I look over my shoulder. Wow, there are a lot of birds around now. I guess the flowers and trees here are really nice. I keep up with Kira's pace. There's a flash of grey as something jumps out in front of her. It's a squirrel, and it dives for a nut close to Kira's feet. Ah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah, it is.
She makes sure not to step on the squirrel as we keep going. A rustling sound comes from the bushes. I look back to see a flock of birds perched in it. The squirrel is there too, as well as two chipmunks and a bunny nibbling on some berries. There are a lot of animals now. This is getting strange, yeah. What is going on? First the birds and now all these other critters are here? All of these other critters are here, but for some reason, Kira doesn't seem bothered by it. Hey, isn't this strange? Where did all these animals come from?
I'm not sure. It's a garden, so there are a lot of animals anyway.
I suppose that's true.
I think I see the cherry blossoms in the distance.
The two of us continue on the path. Luckily, the walk isn't much further. We eventually come to a beautiful field of bright pink trees. These must be the cherry blossoms she was talking about. A small smile graces Kira's lips. She reaches up on her tiptoes to touch some of the blooms hanging over a branch.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Suddenly, a loud shuffling in the bushes disturbs us. When I look up, a deer emerges in the distance. It flicks its ears and watches us. What the heck? Now there's a deer? The birds have also returned. They sing above us in the fluffy pink trees. Meanwhile, the squirrel is clinging to a branch nearby. I spot a few bunnies slowly coming into view from the bushes, and the chipmunks scurry out as well. Okay, this is weird. Why are there so many of them? This is crazy. Have you ever seen so many animals before?
Yes, we're in nature.
The deer tilts its head from far away. Its eyes seem to be boring into my soul. The birds flutter closer. Even the bunnies hop around near Kira's feet, as if they're happy to be there. Are you Snowy White? Another Disney reference? Huh? You know, it would be great if there is character art, CG art. What's that? Why do I even? I forgot what's that term? The CG art? Is it the CG art? Yeah, it would be great if they have a CG art for Kira and the protagonist with all of these animals. But apparently, well, only Erilynn has a CG art in her scene. Well, I'm not gonna spoil much what that art is about. I'm just gonna do it when I'm done with episode 3. So I'll just show off Erilynn's route when I'm done with the main one. So let's choose, I guess, the second one. Kira, you didn't tell me that you were a Disney princess.
Disney princess?
I gestured to the animals crowding around her. Next thing I know, they're gonna follow us home and do all her laundry. Maybe even help her bake a cake. Who knows? Isn't it strange?
I don't know. I always notice animals around me.
But it's weird how many animals are here at once, especially a deer. They're typically really shy and bolt at the slightest noise. She blinks, surprised.
Oh, well, I don't know.
It's all very odd, but I think I can see where the animals are coming from. It must be because of the manner. They're so calm and gentle. The animals probably show themselves because they feel safe around you.
Really?
Yeah, I feel it too. Kira smiles slightly. Her cheeks color a soft pink before she glances away.
I'm sure it's because they can sense harmful intentions and we don't have any.
I think it's more than that. I never had animals follow me around the way they follow you. Kira glances at the woodland creatures, her face softening.
It must be luck.
It seems like you like them as much as they like you. She nods.
I've always felt at peace among the animals. They don't care who you are, as long as you're not a threat.
That's true. They don't judge people the same way people judge people. Kira takes a small step closer to the deer, who remains in place, watching her intently. Carefully, she extends a hand. I hold my breath as I watch the deer pause, its ears flicking. Then it slowly comes closer, sniffing her hand before standing still. With a smile, Kira gently pats its head. She really is the animal whisperer. Whoa, how did you do that?
Do you want to try?
Yeah. Slowly and carefully, she talks me through the
You
motions.
just have to be calm and patient.
Her cool composure and quiet confidence is strangely soothing. It makes me want to be around her too. small blush touches her cheeks when she takes my hand and holds it out for the deer. I try not to think about her touch and remain focused, but my mind keeps slipping. Her hand is smooth and warm and so soft. The deer tenses. It doesn't approach, but it doesn't dart away either. It's not working.
Just wait.
I wait a little longer, but feel my frustration increase when there's no change. Use the force! Use the force, Luke! Lex keeps her advice then. I should learn from Kira and keep calm and patient. I clear my mind, relaxing the tension I was feeling. As if sensing my change, the deer hesitantly steps closer and allows me to pet it. Hey, look! I'm doing it! My excitement spooks the deer and it darts off into the trees. Oh, darn. Kira giggles before masking it with her previous calm.
That was still well done.
I had a good teacher. She smiles in response. Kira looks around.
I think the animals must like you too, or else they wouldn't stay.
The other woodland creatures continue to explore the greenery. Kira's gentle nature makes me feel calm too, and the animals must sense that. That's a nice thought. Thanks, Kira. She smiles softly and then clears her throat.
Although, we should probably head back.
Yeah, before the animals change their minds and leave. Or before the whole forest comes out to greet her. We walk back the way we came, with animals popping in and out along the way. Eventually, we arrive at the meeting point and split off into our separate cabins. I sit back on my bed and relax for the duration of our free time. Soon, it's time for our class activity. I grab my notebook and a pen, and meet the rest of my class. Miss Sato takes us down a path through the forest and talks about the natural ingredients found here for medicine. It's definitely useful. Who knows when you could need this stuff? After we finish identifying all of the helpful or poisonous plants in the forest, we're free to enjoy the evening as we wish. I'm not sure about this. It's definitely useful. Who knows when you could need this stuff? Could this be a foreshadow of something in the later episodes? Or maybe perhaps a later game? Who knows? Well, if it's a foreshadow, it's probably on a later episode, but I head down one of the campsite paths to pass the time. It's nice to get away from the town and just appreciate nature every once in a while. Soon the daylight begins to fade. I better turn back before it gets completely dark. By the time I'm back, the sun has disappeared behind the trees, and the campsite is buzzing with excitement. I can see a few fires flickering in the dark and hear students laughing nearby. As I walk past, I spot Mina and the others sitting in front of a campfire. She waves to me and I head over.
Hey, cuz.
Hey! As I get closer, I see the rest of the group has already circled around the fire pit. The campfire is cozy as orange and red light flicker around their faces. I sit down between Erilynn and Kira. Aha!
We were looking for you, but you weren't in the cabin.
Yeah, I went for a walk. What are you guys up to? Kose grins and rips open a bag of marshmallows.
Making s'mores! You got here just in time.
Nice! Erilynn studies her marshmallow and the graham crackers, looking uncertain.
I don't understand how this works.
How what works?
This thing.
She holds up the ingredients.
Don't you have s'mores in Sweden?
What's a s'more?
It's some more.
Some more what?
S'mores! Mina gives me an impatient look.
It's a sandwich made of graham crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate.
Did they fix this? Because at one point there is a missing voice. I'm not sure if it's a missing voice line. Like, Mina pops in for like 1 second and leaves without saying anything. Then it basically skips that dialogue, and the next sentence follows, and that said dialogue didn't even appear. It skips that and proceeds with the next line. Erilynn brightens.
Oh, a sandwich?
Before she can make one, Jiro, Daisuke, and a girl I vaguely recognize stop at our fire pit. And before that, Kira just pops out and without saying anything. Yeah. Hi, Erilynn. And she doesn't have a voice line. Erilynn looks up and brightens.
Oh, hello, Sana.
Would it be okay if we join you?
Of course.
Thanks. All three of them take a seat and the girl smiles at us. I'm Sana, by the way, and I'm on the student council with Erilynn as your student body president. Oh wow, the student body president is hanging out with us. Either choose the first one or the third one. Do not choose the second one because, well, the one you're closer to will get jealous. So in this case, if we pick this one, Kira would be jealous. So I'll just show it off before I come back here in this scene to repick the correct option. So let's choose this option. Who doesn't know who Sana is? She's so cool, and the fact that she's happy to hang out with us first years makes her even cooler. I flash her my most charming smile. No introductions needed, Sana. How could we forget such a captivating student body president? She blinks. Oh, thank you. Well, I would have changed to my other save name, so I've just used this one. I'm Javelin. You can have a seat by me if you like. Kira fixes her impenetrable gaze on me, then glances at Sana.
Would you like my seat, Sana?
The question sounds so innocent, but why do I feel like Kira's disappointed? Sana shakes her head. Thanks, but there's a space over here. Sana introduces Jiro and Daisuke, who is also the student council vice president. So, well, now that that's out of the way, let's go back to the one we're supposed to choose. Alright, so I think for Kira's route, we're just gonna keep it cool. That's actually pretty good of Sana to chill with us instead of others in her own grade. Maybe that kind of openness is what got her elected. A nod in greeting. I'm Javelin. She returns my nod. Sana introduces Jiro and Daisuke, who is also the student council vice president. With introductions out of the way, Sana smiles, settling into her seat. You are first years, right? Yeah. It's a tradition among the upperclassmen to tell ghost stories around the campfire. What do you think? Would you like to join in this tradition?
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Kira nods.
I love ghost stories.
Erilynn flips back her hair.
Although I haven't partaken in this tradition before, I do think it sounds intriguing.
I haven't told ghost stories around the campfire either.
Sana's eyes widen. Is that true, Daisuke? You didn't tell them at your old school?
No, my previous education wasn't nearly as fun as it is here. Oh man, you're missing out! Now we've definitely got to tell them.
Wait, I just remember, is Daisuke the one from the shrine? He's from the soccer club, who is also same club with Kosei, I guess. Yeah, I just thought about that. Everyone seems excited except for Jiro, who shifts uneasily in his seat.
We certain that's a good idea? What if someone gets scared?
That's the point.
Mina turns to me.
What about you, cuz?
If everyone else is in, then I am too.
Good,
Her smile turns devilish.
because I know a super scary one.
Oh, then you can go first. Kosei snorts.
I bet Mina's story's lame and doesn't scare anyone.
Mina crosses her arms.
You better hold on to your pants, Kosei, because they'll be scared right off of you.
He lifts an eyebrow.
Let's hear it then.
We all glance at Mina, waiting. She takes a deep breath.
Once upon a time, there was a girl who was afraid of the dark. Ever since she was little, she'd put her hand under her bed and her dog would lick her hand to comfort her. This night was no exception. Her family was away and it was extra dark and quiet in the house. She kept hearing a tripping noise, but tried to ignore it. She tried to be brave and go to sleep in her bed, but she felt so afraid. So, just like she always did, she put her hand down by her bed, and sure enough, her hand got licked. That made the girl feel a little better, so she fell asleep. The next morning, she was woken by the sound of her dog barking in the backyard!
Silence. Mina looks around.
Get it? Because he was outside all along!
Yeah, I actually know this one. You told it wrong. Well, in my very first run of this, yeah, I actually know this story. Good effort. These three doesn't explain why she was wrong or what the real ending of, or the, well, to be honest, are there even real true endings to horror stories? Well, this one doesn't. I don't think there is to certain stories. So it doesn't explain. These three doesn't explain that the real end so-called ending works. The real end. They didn't explain the real ending of the story Mina just told. So I know this story and you told it wrong. So this is for the viewers who actually don't know what this story, how this story would end. So okay, for the people who don't know, Mina, that's not the ending to this story.
Huh? What are you talking about? Of course it is.
No. Didn't you wonder why the dripping sound? What the dripping sound was?
It was just a leaky faucet or something.
No. The real ending to this story is that after the girl had her hand licked, she fell asleep, but woke up in the middle of the night, still hearing that dripping. When she went to investigate, she found her dog hung up in the shower and a note on the mirror written in blood that said, "Dogs aren't the only things that licked." Mina yelps.
What? Seriously? That's so awful and scary.
Yeah, it's a scary story. Kose nods.
At least somebody here can tell a story, right?
He folds his hand behind his head, looking smug.
I could do better than that.
Mina shoots him a look.
I'd like to see you try.
Sure. Listen up.
He clears his throat.
There were two girls who lived together over a bakery. One night, the two went out to a birthday party. One girl forgot to bring the cake, so she went back into the apartment to get it. Without turning on the lights, she walked in and grabbed the cake off the counter. Then she went to the party. Later that night, her roommate got tired and went home early to sleep. The girl ended up having too much fun, so she stayed over at the birthday girl's place. The next morning, when she returned home, there was tape around the house and police patrolling the area. She tried to go inside, but the officer stopped her, saying there was a murder. She insisted that it was her roommate and she had to see, but the police wouldn't let her go in. They said it was far too gruesome. She didn't care and pushed past them. And when she walked in, she saw her roommate covered with a white sheet. But on the mirror, covered in blood, was the most horrifying sight she ever saw. In fact, she was so scared that after one look, she fell over, dead.
Kose pauses. Erilynn leans forward in her seat, completely immersed in the story.
What was it?
It was
It was?
a picture of Mina!
What in the...
What?
Confusion ripples across the circle. Everyone stares at him, dumbfounded. Kose smirks.
See? It's so scary you're all speechless.
We're speechless because it makes no sense.
True. Kose shrugs.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
How?
No, it doesn't. Why would you even put me in your story?
Because you were the scariest thing I could think of.
Mina's face twists into a snarl.
I'm not scary.
Kose leaps back in his seat with a yelp.
Ah! See? terrifying.
Well, in my initial playthrough, I don't even know what was the real ending. So yeah, for now I know lah. Now I actually know. But for those who don't know the real ending, yeah, what was it? I say, did you seriously just ruin your story for the sake of a bad joke?
Bad? It was a masterpiece.
I bet it's not as good as the real ending. He shakes his head.
No way. It's better.
So what was the original ending?
On the mirror, written in the roommate's blood, were the words, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the lights?"
Aren't you? Well,
Lame, right?
well, for me, I don't kind of get why the roommate was murdered when she went back. Well, maybe because initially I thought when the girl went to pick up the cake, she was already dead. But I'm not sure. But I guess when the friend went back home to sleep, she turned on the lights and then the murderer actually killed her that time. So yeah, I think that explains that if you don't turn on the lights, you'll be safe. So if the girl actually who took the cake actually turned on the light, I think she would be dead instead. So yeah, I kind of I'm not kind of understand this story, I guess. So those who know can actually comment and let me know.
Lynn? That's so creepy.
You're not shivering.
Much creepier.
Yes, you should have stuck with that ending.
Yeah. Jiro shakes his head, his voice wavering.
I like the Mina ending better.
See? Jiro gets it.
Because he's scared! Sana claps enthusiastically. Those were both great starts. Maybe I can try my luck and sharing a spooky story. Sure.
Yes, of course. Any story will be better than Kosei's monstrosity.
You mean your sorry excuse for a story?
Jiro hugs himself.
I think 2 stories should be enough for one night.
I'd actually like to hear another.
Exactly. We have time for one more.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying all of these.
Me too. Sana grins. Glad to hear it. Now brace yourselves. Once she has everyone's attention, she begins. It was an especially dark and cold night. A family had just purchased a summer cabin. Not unlike the ones here at the hot springs, it was an antique cabin, located in a quiet, secluded place, and the price was very low for the market. They couldn't pass up such a good deal. So the father moved in early to get the place ready, while his wife and daughter finished packing in the old home. That night, the storm outside was wild. He thought he heard a tapping sound. The man felt uneasy, but told himself it was just a sound of nature. The tapping grew louder. It seemed to move on from room to room, almost like footsteps. Still, the man tried to rationalize it as the old house settling. But the thumping came closer and closer. Thump, thump, thump. It was coming down the stairs now, louder and louder as it fell on each step. The father wondered if there were mice or squatters in the house. Was it a burglar? Thump, thump, thump. They were reaching the door to the living room. The latch slowly turned. As the door opened, the fireplace went out. As if on cue, a gust of wind nearly extinguishes our campfire.
Ah!
Kosei
yelps and clings to Mina, who jumps with a shout.
Why are you screaming? It's not even the scary part yet.
So, you scream too?
Only because of you.
And I almost screamed. Everyone else is on edge. It's obvious Chio tries not to act nervous, but his arms are crossed too tight. Even Kira and Erilynn looks uneasy. Only Daisuke seems to keep his composure. Sana smirks as she continues the story. Slowly, The door creaks open. Standing in front of the man was a mirror version of himself with white hair and blood red eyes. The man stared at the creature, and the creature stared at the man. And then it said, "You're mine now!" Sana leaps up, her face in a snarl and her hands stretched into claws, reaching towards us. Someone suddenly latches onto my arm, and it depends on who you're closer with. And in this playthrough, Kira. I look over to see Kira. She holds onto me in a death grip, her eyes wide while the rest of her face and body language doesn't give anything away. If I didn't feel her holding onto me right now, I would have never realized she was so scared. She must feel my eyes over her because she looks up. She glances at her hands around my arm and a soft blush burns into her face. So in this scene, the correct option is the first one. Put your hand over her hand. This one it's a bit overreactive, I guess. So, and the last one, like, yeah, you're being a butt and friend zoning her. So let's choose the first one. I place my hand over hers. Kira glances down at our hands. Her blush burns a little darker, but I notice the flicker of a smile. I smile back and give her hand a squeeze. She squeezes back. To my surprise, she doesn't make a move to pull away. I feel her fingers against my skin. Her expression soft. My heart flutters. She's really cute.
Hey, let go already!
Huh? Kira and I jump apart. We turn to see Kosei clinging onto Mina like a lifeline. His arms are wrapped around her head, which is tucked securely into his chest. Mina flushes and tries to get away, but to no avail.
Hey! I said let go!
But Kosei shakes his head.
No way! I am never letting go!
Laughter puffs out of me. Oh, you never want to let go of Mina, huh? The two of them freeze. They glance at each other and then jump apart.
It's about time you let go.
She huffs and straightens her skirt. What? Her shirt. Why, forget what I just said. Kosei scoffs.
If I'd have known it was you, I would have let go ages ago.
Who else would it have been?
I thought you were him!
How? I'm sitting beside two girls. In between of them, no less. He gestured to me. Mina's mouth pops open.
What? How could you make that mistake?
Yeah.
Because I grabbed onto a bicep and it had a lot of muscle. I didn't think it could belong to a girl.
What the hell, man? Mina flushes scarlet.
What?
The two continue to argue back and forth like an old couple. After the excitement quiets down, Sana is about to finish her story when Misato interrupts.
I hope everyone has enjoyed their evening. Lights out will be soon, so everyone should head back to their cabins. We've got an early start tomorrow.
So, I never know what was the ending to that story. So, if you guys know, comment down below and let me know. I don't know whether I'm disappointed or relieved to miss the ending. Yeah, true. Sana offers us a smile. This was fun. Great stories, everyone. Yeah, definitely. We help put out the rest of the fire and all say our good nights. Still feeling uneasy from Sana's story. Jiro sticks by Daisuke's side like glue, while Kira, Mina, and Erilynn trail together towards their cabin. Kosei and I return to our cabin. After getting ready for our sleep, we slip off our shoes and then jump into bed. It's always weird sleeping in a new place, and Sana's story didn't help. I toss and turn before eventually falling asleep. I awaken to my classmates shifting around the cabin. Okay, so this is quite an interesting start of an episode. Well, the game is more shifted towards who you're gonna it's like it's also kind of hinting you at who you're gonna end up with. Like in this case is Kira for mine. So yeah, so if you're aiming to, if Kira is not the one you're gonna be with, I suggest I guess in future free time events, better choose Erilynn. Choose Erilynn. I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's even possible. So yeah, when future episodes released, I'm gonna try that out. And yeah, overall it's a good start to episode 3. And we kind of know that we're getting more attached to the person that we're like getting close with. We're getting closer to the person that we like. And yeah, it kind of also like hints at you to not to choose like those how do I won't say dumb options, but it's kind of it might be realistic. And yeah, some people are dense. Maybe I think I'm not sure if I'm dense or not, but yeah, still single. So if you're a single girl, yeah, in your early 20s, also comment down below. Let me know. We can meet up, have a date. You know what? Forget I said anything. Alright, so I'll end this episode right here. So thank you guys for watching Javelin Studios. My name is Javelin, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Ethereal Enigma. Signing out. Have a great day, everyone.